Hey, today I wanted to talk about the collection of wash products I've accumulated for my truck this past year. I've talked about a few of these specific things before, but I thought I'd go over my full set of tools at this point. I finally got enough stuff that I think I'm covered for every situation, and I don't find myself struggling or wanting more. If you want to shop for any of these, I've got links below. Here we go. As you can see, I can fit everything in this single bin nicely, with room to spare in case the collection grows. I think I got a 4-pack of these bins on Amazon for maybe 15 or 20 bucks each. Not terrible, but honestly, just go to Walmart and you can probably get a better deal on better bins. My only gripe about these is I think they're a bit flimsy once you get too much weight in them. What I'm showing here is fine, but for example, the weight of that gallon shampoo is definitely noticeable when you're carrying it around. The first and most important piece of any car wash is the car shampoo. I'm using Meguiar's Gold Class Car Wash Shampoo and Conditioner. This stuff is great. I did a bunch of poking around online before picking up soap, and this one seemed popular. I can concur it was a great choice, and I'll definitely be buying it again next time around. I opted for a gallon, which as you can see has gotten me quite a bit of mileage in a full year. I probably could have washed my truck a bit more often, but honestly I tend to use more liquid than probably is necessary, so I think this is fair. This 1 gallon is going to last me years. The sheen and shine I get after using this stuff is just incredible. It leaves that silky, smooth feeling on the paint that's really satisfying to touch. And most importantly, it removes dirt and grime with minimal effort. My truck is always insanely dirty every time I get around to washing it, so I'm pretty impressed with this stuff. Next up is Meguiar's Water Spot Remover. This is an absolute godsend, and one that hits close to home for me. If you've ever had water spots, you know how frustrating it can be. For me, I was cursed with spots all over my hood within the first week of buying my brand new truck. It was honestly my fault. I took it out and got it really dirty before ever waxing or applying any protection to the paint, so I feel like I was extra susceptible. Anyway, a normal wash wouldn't remove the spots, but this little red bottle from Meguiar's saved me. From what I understand, it's a mild polish, and I've found that careful application in small amounts was all I needed. I can't recommend having this on hand enough, just so you can whip it out when needed without stressing. I also use a Quik detailing spray from time to time. This again is Meguiar's Gold Class, meant for glossy paint finishes. They advertise this is the bridge between washing and waxing, and I have to agree with them. When you have a mostly clean surface that just needs some touch-ups, this is a fantastic way to approach it. It's also a great way to maintain your vehicle without having to do a full wash. You can easily spend 10 minutes going over the whole vehicle instead of having to spend part of the afternoon breaking out the full wash kit. It's easy enough to use as often as you like, and also you can just address a specific area if need be. You'll also find it has the effect of leaving behind a fantastic, glossy and silky finish. They claim it leaves a short-term paint protecting effect like a weak wax, but who really knows? This isn't strictly necessary for your arsenal, but it's great to have on hand. This is Turtle Wax Bug and Tar Remover. Now, regardless of what brand you buy, I highly recommend having a bug and tar remover in your kit. I would go as far to say it's a necessary item. If you like to drive any meaningful distance, I promise you're going to get bugs all over the front of your car. These are not only nasty and hard to remove, but bugs in particular leave behind acids that will cause extra damage to your paint. This is the type of thing you should break out immediately after you get home from a road trip plastered with insects. It really only takes a few minutes. Turtle Wax isn't the strongest of these types of products, but it gets the job done. I think it's just the first one I found at my local AutoZone. I also find that this product works for removing tree sap when soap and spray detailer wouldn't. Now maybe that's bad for some reason, but I don't know, it works for me. I use Formula 1 Carnauba Wax to seal my paint. It is what it is. It's probably gonna last 3 to 6 months, depending on who you ask. I try to do it 2 to 3 times per year. My only complaint with waxing this way in general is it's pretty cumbersome. You need to fully wash the truck first, and not only that, it needs to be immaculate. Every single surface needs to be totally clean of all specks and plant matter that might get left behind if you just do a typical wash. So this usually involves spot cleaning each panel in detail, which itself takes time. Then of course there's applying the wax, allowing it to set, and removing it. It really takes a few hours to cycle through everything. You might find yourself making an afternoon out of it. The product comes with an applicator pad, of course, but I buy my own Meguiar's applicator pads to restock. The Meguiar's pads are great. There really isn't much to say, but you can buy them in packs, and they work for any situation where you need a pad. Waxing, water spot removal, polishing, what have you. They are reusable to an extent, and you can wash them if you're thorough. One word of caution, you want to be extremely careful not to mix pads between polishing and waxing, for example. A polish pad should always and only be a polish pad. As you can see, I kept one specifically in my water spot remover, so there's never a mix-up. When it comes to touching your paint, you essentially always want to use microfiber. I use these microfiber wash mitts, which I got in a pack of 2. I only ever use one at a time, but it's nice to have a backup. I find that wearing the fiber as a mitt is so much more convenient than using a handheld scrubber or brush or just a cloth. I think this is definitely the way to go. I combine this with the 2-bucket method and it works like a charm. For drying, I also use microfiber towels, but Meguiar's water magnet towels specifically for water absorption. These have an insane capacity to pick up water, and I find I can almost dry my entire Tacoma with a single towel before ever wringing out. That being said, wringing out is very easy, so you can certainly carry on after that point. Personally, I decided to buy a second, just so I don't have to waste any time and can dry the truck as fast as possible. Anyway, I find these never leave any streaks or spots, and I'm so impressed. I tend to keep these inside the truck in case I ever decide to blow through one of those self-service car washes. And in general, something you'll need to tie everything together are some general purpose microfiber towels. You'd be surprised how many uses these have. I use mine for spray detailer, bug and tar remover, wax removal and buffing, etc. Really, anytime you're going to touch the truck, you want it to be with microfiber. And because you probably don't want to mix compounds, it's best to have relatively smaller towels so you can switch between them, or just set one aside and grab a fresh one when needed. In general, if you're spray detailing the whole car, for example, you want to be careful to continuously move to clean portions of the towel after you remove dirt. And of course, when the towel is spent, you move on to a fresh towel. I think I've got a total of 8 or 9 of these at this point, including a few black ones, which are nice because wax shows up clearly on these when you're buffing it out. Also keep in mind you only want to wash microfiber with microfiber, so you can toss everything in the washer and dryer as one load together. And how could I forget my hose nozzle? When I decided to start washing my truck at home, I was really annoyed without a spray nozzle. You're either running around to turn off the water or just wasting it everywhere. These are only a few bucks. Don't even mess around, just get one. And it's way better to have accurate and increased water pressure than trying to use your finger or something. This is such a quality of life improvement, I can't stress it enough. And when it comes to water buckets, I just use 2 5-gallon buckets from Home Depot. They're only a few bucks, so definitely go grab a couple. And that's the collection so far. I love all of this stuff, and I definitely recommend these products or products like these to anybody who's looking to wash their car or truck at home. Again, I've got links below to these specifics if you want. Anyway, like and comment with any questions. I'm more than happy to help, and I'm sure I missed something. Please let me know if I can improve these videos in any way. If you'd like to support the channel, you should of course subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000. But if you'd like to go above and beyond, you can buy me a coffee using the link in the description. I appreciate every one of you. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day.